Another Coldsteel. Now, you guys know I've already owned one of these, but I've actually gotten rid of my last one. I sold it to a buddy of mine who really, really wanted it. And I decided to go ahead and let go of it. But I ended up missing it, kind of. I really did like the Kobun. But I'm happy that it went to the right person, because I know he needed it more than me at the time. And I was like, you know what? Maybe I do kind of want a Kobun that I can keep for myself this time. So I was looking, and then I ended up finding one, but this one's got serrations on it. So let's talk blades, everybody. That's what we're into. Today I got for you guys the Coldsteel Kobun, and yes, this is the original box. Obviously, it's very generic. There's nothing really to say about what this box comes with other than the knife itself, so get rid of the trash and bring in the actual product. Now, I added the shoelace onto here because I like to kind of hang some of my knives. And this one kind of didn't really cooperate with me, so I kind of had to hang it in such a way that it's upside down. But that's fine. I like having the option of tying it on me if I could or should. It does come with this like metal thing here that you could put on your belt line, or you could drop it in the pocket. I don't know. This is a relatively decent knife. Now, what makes this one different from the first Kobun that I have is that this one has, like I just said before, serrations. So you can tell that this knife, I think it's like it's supposed to be, what, a boot knife? A boot Tonto knife? I'll go with that. Americanized Tonto-y boot knife. Anyways, cool stuff. I really do like the teeth on this thing. It's really cool. And what's really interesting is that there's no teeth on this side, but there's teeth all the way down the main body of the blade. So I think that's kind of strange, but hey, it works. It's nice and thin, all right? It feels amazing in the hand, just like my original Kobun that I sold to a buddy of mine. And it says Kobun on there. Flip it around, and it also says Coldsteel AUS 8 Taiwan. So what can I say about this knife? Well, it's a good knife. It's a good knife. Take it as a backup. I think this is a great backup knife, in my opinion. This wouldn't be like the first thing I'd use in any type of situation, unless it's the only thing I'm carrying. But it's nice and thin and light, and it just feels kind of like a ninja tool when you're holding it in any grip. It works. The Tonto is a little bit squared off more than, I think that's one of the reasons why I didn't really like it too much, is because it doesn't have a traditional Tonto look. It's kind of squared off in a way. But that's okay, though. I think that certain Tontos that have that kind of squared off appearance is good for a lot of things. Now, this is something I didn't mention about the Martyrer Coldsteel. It's got a chisel grind. So if you look, this side's sharpened, but this side is not. You see that? It's just all on one side. And I forgot to mention that in the Martyrer episode. So this one is actually quite interesting and unique because of that. Now, it doesn't really make a huge difference to me. As long as it's sharp, it works. But that just means that one side is... I think the idea behind something like that is supposed to be easier to sharpen. I've never had to try and sharpen a chisel grind before, so I really have no idea how that's going to play out. I've only sharpened... What is it? I think it's on here, isn't it? Yeah, look at that. Flat, Scandi, hollow. What is that? Convex, compound, chisel. Yeah, so this one's here, chisel. Chisel grind. I don't know if you guys can see that, but it's right over here. You got the list of different kind of grinds. I think the one that I'm very, very familiar with is the convex grind and the compound grind. So these two are the ones that I'm used to sharpening. I've never had to sharpen a hollow grind before, or a Scandi, or a flat even. So these two are kind of like the ones that I'm used to. Or maybe, you know what, I'm getting the compound mixed up with the Scandi. I don't know. Anyways, Kobun, awesome stuff. It is Coldsteel, like I said. It's just one of those things. It's really secure in the sheath. Hear that confident snap? So it is there. It's not coming out. It doesn't have any type of snap closure or nylon like the other two had. This one is just it. So you got that sheath and you got the knife. Awesome stuff. Now it is so... You see that? It's so balanced that it's on... Wow. So the balance is right there. A little bit, maybe a little bit there. I don't know. What am I doing? I don't know. So, if you're into smaller Tonto fixed blades, this is one of the ones I would recommend highly before you start wasting money on other squared off Tonto tipped knives from other companies, because this is just one of the ones that feels good in the hand. It feels great to carry, and it's even more awesome because it's Coldsteel. And Coldsteel's known for just making really, really awesome stuff. So, I don't know. It's just good. So we'll get into the specs of this knife. I think I've only carried my Kobun, my original Kobun, twice. So on a hike, I threw it on my back, and it was in this configuration on my back. So, and it was nice and comfy, and it just felt good. 4.36 ounces just on the knife alone. That's relatively light. Altogether, 6.95 ounces. Now, give or take, because I have the, the shoelace on there. And of course, we'll get into the length. So, here it is. Okay. So you're looking at a blade length of 5 1/4 with a total of 9 5/8 altogether. And let me get my calipers out so that way you guys have an idea. Where are my calipers? Oh man, everything's everywhere. I can't even find anything anymore. All right. So on the handle where the swell is, you're looking at a 0.52. And on the blade, you're looking at a 0.12, if that matters to anybody. So this is just one of those really cool kind of smaller fixed blades. Now, would this be a good throwing knife? Now, I want to say it is, because it's nice and thin, and I've seen a video of a guy using these Kobuns as throwing knives, and they were hitting in one spot each time, and I would suggest not to throw your knife. But if you are one of those guys who's like, I like throwing my knives, well, then give a Kobun a try. Now, the price tag on these aren't really that much. I think it was somewhere around the $40 range, between 40 and 60, depending on where you go. It's an interesting piece. It's not one of the type of knives that I would use for everything, simply because of, the size. But if it's the only thing I had, it's really, really durably built, and it's a Coldsteel, so wouldn't expect anything less. It does have a pretty decent sized lanyard hole here, which I think is really strange. I don't think that this lanyard hole is the same size as the lanyard hole on the Martyrer, but I could be wrong. This one just looks a little bigger, maybe because the handle's smaller. I don't know. It's not really all that big of a deal. But I really do like the grind on this. It just looks really, really nice. Got the mirror polish on the body, and then you got that kind of a different kind of grind look on there, so it just looks nicer. And it's got that relatively I take that back. It just looks like a really cool knife. It's overall, it's just one of those nostalgic kind of pieces. In my personal opinion, if you need a backup knife, I think this would be a great backup knife to the already big fixed blade knife that you would have on your side. This could be something you could drop in the boot or have it on the small of your back, like I did when I was hiking at one point. I just thought it was a really, really neat thing. So yeah, Kobun. Get it in the regular edge. I think is better than the serrated edge. I just chose the serrated edge because I've kind of went through a little fit of serrations. I just loved serrations at one point, which this is still awesome. So Go ahead and get you some, sucker. Anyways, slash that like button, stab that subscribe, slash that bell icon so you guys are notified anytime I post new things. And in this craziest of times, this craziest world that we're in, be kind, be safe, care responsibly, care for each other. And I'll see you guys in the next video.